Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Schmatz Outdoors. So we're just getting packed up and ready to go here for this morning. I didn't really have too much to get ready in my truck today. I'm maybe even a little bit earlier than I probably want to be, but we're gonna get going here anyway. So the only thing I did is I grabbed another 330 and then one of my tall H stands, and I grabbed 2 colony traps, and I hope to put in those culverts by the new sets I added the other day. It is windy today. It's like 20 degrees warmer today, so I actually don't even need the stocking cap. We're going to take it off as soon as I get going, but it blew out of the south like 15 plus all night. It's supposed to do the same all day, so if I have to remake coyote sets, it's going to be tough, but power through. That's how we work here. So my waders seem to be dry. My GoPro seems to be working, so hopefully that continues to be the case. We're going to keep checking up on it all day, make sure the audio and everything's recording for you guys. Otherwise, we'll be using my phone, and I might not film too much muskrat videos if I have to use my phone. I just don't like carrying my phone out in the slough for the exact reason why GoPro got wet yesterday. So, but yeah, I didn't refill my peat moss. I got like 2/3 a container of peat moss, probably at least that of urine. So I didn't really, like I said, have to refresh too much of anything in my truck. And I actually think we're ready to go. So today we got those new beaver sets to check. So kind of crossing my fingers, we got a beaver caught there. Hopefully got a beaver caught in the original beaver set. If not, like I said, we're gonna drop one 330 in there today. If I have a beaver caught, I'm not gonna drop this 330 in, I don't think. We'll kind of play it by ear. I don't know, like I said, I think there's only one beaver in there, so if we catch one today, I'm gonna leave my set for a couple days, like I said, to just make sure there wasn't some young ones in there. Last year I did catch the one like 56 pounder or something out of there, but I kind of figured there's maybe only a pair in there. So in the little small feed bed that they got this year kind of leads me to believe there's only just the one in there. So, and I don't know how early the muskrat's been plugging my setup, so if it makes it into the night at all, you would think I'd have a beaver caught there instead of a muskrat. But like I said, we're gonna take that trap with me. If I don't have him in my caster mount set, we're gonna drop that 330 in there. I didn't really find a better spot to move my caster mount. Otherwise I'd have probably done that or even added, because I do have one more foothold in there. In my truck, a beaver foothold. So yeah, I guess it's about all I know this morning. Like I said, we're gonna get going fairly early again today. Hopefully we can get around the line in good order. And I do have a few things around the yard here that I'd like to get done too, if I have a little extra daylight. And I also would like to set a few coyote sets around our farm here if I get a little extra daylight. So kind of towards the end of the line, like I said, if I have time, I actually may add a few more land traps. Like I said, I doubt I'm going to be adding any more water traps. I'm over 50 muskrats. It's now in the 3 checks. My goal was 75, so if I get even 10 muskrats the next couple days, a day, or even less, honestly, if I get 5 each day, I'm going to be happy with that. We're going to call that good. So we're going to kind of leave whatever muskrats that are still around. We're going to leave them there for seed for next year. Hopefully they can make it through the winter and we get a little bit of rain and stuff and some snow to fill the sloughs back up. So kind of always looking forward to next year. I don't want to trap every animal everywhere and then not have anything to go after next year. So kind of leave a few there and see how that works. But all right, I think that's all I got for you right now. Like I said, we're gonna get on the road here and see if we got some catches for you. All right, guys, I kind of apologize for that. Was close. I apologize for the wind out here. Like I said, it's blowing like 20 out of the south, so I can't really do too much about it. I just wanted to show you this. So Apparently something's been eating good on my carrot there, so it's only just as shriveled up of what it originally was. And this one here is the one that my bait's been stole like 2 or 3 times, and I tried to move it up as high as I could today, or yesterday, and I got myself a catch today. So we'll get both of these. I'll get that other one rebaited because that little bit that's left ain't worth leaving it, and I'll get this guy out of there. I haven't checked any of the sets across the road, so you never know, maybe I got more than one here. Alright guys, so I'm in the same slough with the other end, so I just had that little muskrat over here. All the sets on the other side of the road are still working, but with the way the wind is blowing, it's blowing this direction, kind of almost this direction. I would expect the sets on the west side of the road, which is where I'm at right now, or the south side of the roads to do the best. But I just wanted to show you guys. I hope you guys can see, see the muddy stain here and the muddy stain over there. Apparently the muskrats or something been digging here in the mud. So I'm actually going to move my pole set here over this way a little bit, get it more over into the sign. But my 110 here is set off, and we got ourselves some little muskrat again. So seems like I can catch 2 a day out of this slough, so I'll take that. We'll get this one remade, we'll move that other one, and we'll be on our way. Alright guys, I'm to the next spot here, where I got the colony trap in this culvert here. I can see I got catches in that. On the other side of the road, my 110 was set off again today, and I had a hard time getting it set yesterday after it was set off yesterday with nothing in it. So I pulled that trap, put a brand new trap in there. Like I said, if it isn't staying set, it isn't doing me no good. But got my mink box there still set. All these sets are still working, but I could see right down here a muskrat. I didn't pull it out yet. I could see him in there. Get my colony trap way in here. There you go. So one more muskrat, actually a pretty decent sized one compared to the last couple, and that makes 3 for the day now, and that's like, I don't know, almost 10 for this spot, just this one culvert going under the road here. So I caught 3 in this colony trap the first day. I almost think there was 1 in there the next day, and now 1. So this colony trap's caught me 5 muskrats here that obviously my baited sets did not catch me. So all right, we'll get him out of there. We'll get moved on to the next spot. Alright guys, so I'm to this big public hunting or big slough here. Like I said, I put just a few test sets here just to see. That one there is leaning way over. My trap is actually still set. I think I did something here that I don't think I've ever done, unless I'm mistaken. That is a possum. I'm pretty confident that that is a possum. A baby possum here. Or no, it's not. It's just a rat. The big ears kind of threw me off. But I actually caught a normal rat, like a rat, not a muskrat, in a water set that was standing out here in the middle of the slough. I thought, like I said, I thought it was a possum just because of the big ears. But no, I caught a rat in an actual water set. I've never done that before. I don't know. I'm sure amongst all the cement and stuff they have here to keep the water from washing out this road, I'm sure it's prime habitat for stuff like this. But wow is all I gotta say. That's a first for me. I mean, I've caught plenty of them in dog proofs and other things, but I thought it was a little possum, just the look of the tail and the white feet and the big ears, but I was wrong. That was my mistake. But still, catching a rat in a set like this, I don't think that happens too often. Alright guys, I apologize for the wind. Like I said, it's blowing like at least 20 out here. I just checked my weather app here probably 15 minutes ago, and it said 20 gusting to 30. So I'm right in the wide open field here. I'm facing away from the wind. I showed you guys this set yesterday. So I got this drainage ditch here, goes into this block of woods, and I wanted to make the point that I didn't yesterday. So there's a little road right here. That's the property line where I can trap. So I can't trap any of this woods or any of this woods until I get to this fence line. Then I could trap on this side of that fence line. You know, so along these woods would obviously be the better spots to have these sets. But again, I can't trap that, at least not for another week and a half here until after deer season. Then maybe I could get permission for that, but definitely not before that. But what I have is a coyote set here, and the farmer 2 days ago mowed this ditch. So the weeds were up like what you can see around my coyote. Like the weeds were like all this, and he mowed this ditch 2 days ago. Yesterday I had a coyote, and today I have a coyote. So apparently this is the first year I've ever put a set out by this ditch. And I just thought, you know, gosh, because it runs up this way, up into wildlife. That's a full 160 acres of wildlife up there, and there's sloughs and woods and everything else over there. So I figured it'd be a good travel pathway for these guys, and got myself a nice looking coyote again. He's got a few burrs in him in his hackle there, but looks like a nice coyote. Deep caught in that MB 550 right there. So I guess new set pays off this year with a pair of coyotes so far, and he's got this tore up something fierce here. So honestly, like, I'm not gonna do it today. Just one, I already walked out here. I'm 100 yards from my truck, and not that I couldn't walk back and forth, but maybe in the next few days, if the wind goes down some, I'll try to put a new set in out here. You know, go like right over this way, or maybe over this way, one way or the other. You know, like even right in here looks like probably be a good spot where it's not so many lumps and there's kind of a flatter spot. I don't really want to be by these weeds here, because they're cockleburs, and they're gonna get stuck in the fur of the animal. You know, if I set there, they're literally just gonna be coated with them. So I'm gonna want to set him up here probably, but won't be today. Like I said, we'll get this guy out of here. It's going to be a bugger to sit or put peat moss on my trap here. We're just going to move some of these dirt clods. They'll be my backer here again, and we'll be on our way. First land animal of the day again. All right, guys, so I'm down to the nuisance beaver sets here. 2 out of my 3 sets are set off, and I'm not sure how I missed this guy, but I apparently did here. Let me turn you around and kind of show you. So what I did is I put a caster mound right here. My foothold is right here in the water, and I'm going to reach down in there and show you. But they got their little feed bed. I walked all the way around this side of it, and I can't find a run, but they're building like a half-ass house here on the side of this. But hope you guys could see that the beaver footprint is right on top of my caster mound here. But I reached down in here, and right here's my trap. So my trap was just setting right here. I got a little caster here, and I put a little dob on it there. But yet, my trap is still setting here. I kind of put these sticks and stuff, you know, a little bit to kind of block him into where I want him. But obviously, he come right up here, just somehow didn't set my trap off. And then I got it staked out to here, where the top of that is. I'm hoping for a front foot catch, because there's only maybe 2.5 feet of water out here to get him drowned. So we're going to, I'm actually going to put a different caster lure on here in the hopes that he's sitting here waiting for me tomorrow. All right, guys, so I had that caster mount right up here. It's the feed bed and whatever. So there's a little dam here. The water is like 2 foot below what their dam is. But there's like a beautiful crossover right here. So I put a 330 half submerged in the water, and I got myself a mink. Looked like it killed him stone dead. I mean, a crossover set, you can't hardly get a better set for catching pretty much anything and everything that comes by. So I just had a few of these sticks just to kind of disguise my trap a little bit, but looks like a big mink. First mink of the year, caught him in a beaver crossover set. So we'll come back and reset him. Actually could get up on this side. I apologize for the wind. So over here, there's another dam up here. Alright guys, sorry about that. My camera shut off on you guys, so you missed the reveal, but what I had is a foothold right here. I got a little bit of caster on that stick, and I put there's a crossover on this dam, and there's actually another dam down there, but I put my set here thinking the beaver were going to be up here towards where this feed bed is. The feed bed's up this direction. And I just had a foothold with a little caster, and I had it staked back here behind me. And I got myself a beaver here. I figured it's probably a 2-year-old. You know, I caught some of them this spring, or 2 this spring, that were, you know, a little bit smaller than this, maybe 2/3 this size. Well, over the summer, I figured that's probably about the size he should get. So got myself the first beaver of the year and the first mink of the year out of these 3 beaver sets. So obviously I think there's more than just this one in here, so we're gonna get this remade. He's got all this grass kind of tangled up. I just think from, you know, the grass is hanging into the bank or into the water over here. I have my set here again with the wind blowing out of the south all day today. It should be perfect again tonight for blowing my scent down this way towards where I think the beaver are at. And I don't know, there's some bunch of chewed sticks in here, so I'm not so sure they ain't denning in this stretch as well. And they actually could be up in here too, but we're gonna remake this set. We'll remake that set with the mink in there, and we'll get moved on. Finally got my beaver caught for the year. Hopefully that other beaver set's got one in it today too, instead of a muskrat. All right guys, you ever have that spot that you just kind of dread, or you kind of get a down feeling in your stomach when you're driving up to a location? For some reason this spot kind of had me thinking that as I was driving back here. So again, I'm back by this feed lot. You know, I got a couple sets on that side of the building. I got one on the right in front of my truck by this corn, and I got a flat set right here. And I did catch a coyote in this set a couple days ago, but this I think is at least the second, if not the third skunk I've had in this same set as well. But beautiful, huge skunk. Look at the stripes on him. Let's see maybe if I can get he is super on edge, so he's right out in the wide open wind, which is never good when dealing with skunks. So I hope you could see, he has beautiful, huge stripes. Probably some of the better, widest stripes I've seen on any skunk this entire season. So I'm really hoping I can get him dispatched without him spraying, but doing it in the wind is never easy. You know, and usually bigger skunks are a little bit easier to deal with. The little guys seem like they're a little trigger happy. So we'll see. He was already kind of on edge before I ever even got out of my truck. So we're hoping, like I said, I can get over there. The wind is blowing this way, so I'm going to be up on this side of him trying to, be upwind of him in case he does spray. It won't be spraying at me, hopefully, or the wind will help kind of knock it down before it gets to me. So, but yeah, big skunk. I think that's the 5th one back here now. But yeah, like I said, it just kind of in my mind, it just almost like dreading driving back here right now because this keeps happening, and it just takes so much time to get him dispatched and then get the set remade and all that. Just takes, I'll be here 15 minutes messing with this skunk. You know, if it was a coyote, I'd be here maybe 10 or less, you know. So every time I come back here, you know, if I got a set or two, I think every day I've had to remake 2 sets back here at least. And this one today is only just the one, so luckily it's just one. But yeah, like I said, I don't know, it's just I kind of had this sinking feeling in my stomach driving back here. I'm like, God, please don't be a skunk. And then sure enough, bam, giant skunk. And he's big and fat, so they know how to grow them around these parts. I think they're well fed around here, but we're gonna do the best I can to get him dispatched without him spraying here, and get the set remade and we'll get moved on. Alright guys, so I got him dispatched here and out of my trap and stuff. I'm just getting ready to reset it here, but look at the stripes on that skunk. Like I said, that's probably by far the nicest one I've seen all year, so hopefully a guy will make $1 or $2 off of him. Alright, I'm going to try and talk with my back to the wind. Hopefully they're going to keep the wind noise down for you guys a little bit, so you guys can see the swoop behind me. I filmed this one the other day, or a few different times. So someplace right in here the culvert goes under the road, but I think it's mostly plugged up. My 110 is set off with nothing in it, but my foothold here got a real little muskrat in there. So the sets on this side of the road, I absolutely did not expect to have anything in them. Oop, stepped in a hole. Just because the way the wind's blowing in there. So unless I caught him early or something, you know, before the wind switched, or not that it switched, but before the wind picked up. And then on this side of the road, which is where I expect to maybe see catches, I got nothing. So here's where I had the mink killed the first muskrat, and I threw him in my mink box right over there. But all my muskrat sets are working on this side, so got just the one here today. We'll get those 2 sets remade and move on. All right guys, I'm at this beaver house, the very first one, and apparently I connected on something here, because I could see my drowning cable is over the top of this muskrat set. This muskrat set was set off, so I don't know if somehow he got my stake pulled down here. I really don't know what's going on. I don't see a beaver or anything over here, but so I'm just trying to figure out where my trap might be. So apparently I got a whole wad of sticks. So yeah, apparently he got my stake pulled out of down there. I do have a beaver here though. Finally. I could see his foot. There's a beaver foot right here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's right here. There's a beaver foot. So yeah, like I said, he must have got my stake somehow pulled out of the... Let's turn it. So yeah, I got him nice front foot catch, which is what I want. But this is not a very big beaver. This is like roughly the same size as the one I already got in the truck. So I don't know, he might be a little bigger, but he's not that much bigger. So I don't know, I threw my 330 over the fence, but now I don't think I'm gonna set my 330 out here. I was gonna set it over here. There's kind of a channel comes out right here and goes out past this tree, but I don't think I'm gonna set that today because I got that beaver. And just looking up here, like my caster mount is still in perfect shape. There's, you know, my caster from yesterday there, and then on this stick. So we're gonna reset it right here. We're gonna freshen up my caster again after I get it untangled out of here. We'll get him untangled. We'll get all these sticks kind of out of the way. Obviously my stake is gone. I don't know where that is, so we're going to see if it's tangled up in here. If it's not, we'll go grab a new stake to stake the deep side out here and to make sure I get that stake better than I had it apparently. I mean, front foot catch, he should have just been out to the end and drowned it out there. So apparently it wasn't staked as good as I would have hoped, but finally, yes. Finally got this stinking beaver. Like I said, I don't know, they keep adding to the pile every night here. So I don't know, since this looks like just a 2-year-old, I don't know if there's gonna be another one in here or not, but we're gonna reset it. So today's Wednesday. I plan on pulling on Friday, so now that I got this one, we're gonna pull this set for sure on Friday. If I had to, I was gonna leave it, but and then, you know, just bring just my waders just for checking this one set. But just out of curiosity, I was just checking my checking the muskrat set just in case a guy happened to have a muskrat before I would have caught the beaver. But all right, like I said, we got a little bit of work to get him untangled out of here. Finally got him. We'll get him out of here. Like I said, we'll go grab another stake to stake the deep end of this, get this all reset, and we'll be moving on. All right, guys, last water trap of the day. Connected again. So I'm in the Four Corners Slough. So there's, you know, there's road cuts this slough into four. The one on this side of the road, on the northwest corner, has not been set off or messed with the entire time, but I don't think that side's a little bit shallower than this side too. But here we go. And then I had mentioned yesterday that the one south of here, I caught 3 in a row over there. If I caught one more, I was going to pull it. There was nothing in it today. So like I said, that still stands. If I catch one maybe tomorrow, we'll pull it out of there tomorrow. But this one here, I'll maybe leave the same way. Now I've got 3 out of this one set. If I catch another one here tomorrow, I might pull this set. As long as I'm here, that one ain't doing nothing on the other side of the road, I might pull that one too. But that's if I catch another one out of this set. All right, guys, I'm to the second to the last trap of the day. So 1 trap left after this one. Got myself another catch here. This is kind of interesting because 2 days in a row, I had a raccoon caught here 3 days ago. The last 2 days, my golf ball has been gone. Like missing, gone. It's not like it was just knocked off. It literally was gone. So I walked down here yesterday and checked it. It was still full of bait. So they didn't take my bait. They just took the golf ball. So I thought, you know what? We're going to leave it like that and just see what happens. Well, I made a catch today. I doubt this is the golf ball thief, but you never know. He is tiny. I mean, he is like hardly bigger than my hand, tiny. I mean, by far the smallest one I've caught all year. I'm backing up because I'm looking at the wrong end of a loaded gun right there. So, and honestly, just in the catch circle here, I don't see my golf ball again today, but it may be down in here someplace. We're gonna have to be very careful. I'm upwind of him right now, so you know the wind is blowing this direction away from me, so obviously he's aiming right at us. So these little guys, like I said, seem to be the most volatile. Like that big one earlier, walked right up to him. He just kind of stood his ground, injected him. He was done. You know, even in the wind, it didn't really matter. He was pretty calm, but this little guy's digging a hole, I think, right at the moment. But we're gonna get this guy out of here. Like I said, I got 1 trap left, 1 dog proof left after this. What I got for location is this big drainage ditch that keeps going on the other side of the road up here. Over on this end of it is where somebody messed with my sets and I pulled them a couple days ago. So, well, the day I had the raccoon here, I pulled the sets on the other end down there. So we'll get this guy out of here and we'll move on. All right, guys, we're home. Pretty early day again, or not pretty early, but earlier day today. Sun's definitely still up, which is a good sign. Catches down just a little bit again from what it's been the last couple days, but you know, I can't have 5 coyotes every day, let's put it that way. They're you know, you could, but around my area that's impractical. Even to catch it in one day is, you know, I think I've done it 3 times in 10 years, caught 5 coyotes in a day. So, you know, that kind of gives you an idea. But we're back home. We'll give you a quick rundown of the catch here. And we'll kind of explain a little bit of what I got going on. And then we're going to get right into skinning this stuff. And because I don't have that much, I mean, the beavers are going to take me a bit to get skinned and stuff. But I may actually try to flesh a bunch of this stuff tonight and actually get it put up. I mean, I'm getting... Last night was the first night I fleshed anything, and I fleshed the 13 muskrats I had. I caught 14, but the one was chewed up by a mink. So the 13 that I brought home, I got fleshed and on stretchers last night. Otherwise, I've been freezing everything, so just getting it skinned, and I've been freezing it. So if I can get a little bit of fur put up today, it's so windy. So even like that big skunk I had caught, trying to remake that coyote set was just darn near impossible in this wind. I mean, it's just blowing the dirt around in your face, blowing my peat moss around, because it's still blowing 20 miles an hour, gusting more. So if you're out in the open, it's not real feasible to try and make a coyote set in this. You're not making your best set, and if I'm gonna spend the time to put it there, I want to make sure it's gonna be the best I can get it there. So we'll give you a quick rundown. So muskrat catch was way down today, but I kind of attribute that to a little bit to the wind. Only 5 muskrats today. Again, I can't expect bumper crops every day, but boy, 5 is pretty slim pickings. Then we got the one coyote again, caught in the same set that I had a coyote in yesterday. He got a little wet from this beaver here, was touching him, but he's got a few burrs in him, like right there. He's got some burrs and stuff, and a few up here in his neck. But again, nice looking coyote. I can't really complain. That's 12 coyotes now and 6 checks. So, I mean, well above my average, let's put it that way. You know, and I don't expect, you know, to be catching averaging 2 every day, but boy, if I can pick up 1 here or there, like I said, I should end up with a pretty respectable number by the end of the year, I would hope. And I plan on getting more coyote sets out. Tomorrow, like I said, if the wind goes down a little bit, I'm gonna try. I got, you know, like I said, maybe 20 spots I could put coyote sets right now that I don't have sets out. So if the wind goes down a little bit tomorrow, and kind of depending on time-wise where I'm at on my line, I may again try and start dropping a few coyote sets in, a few more here and there. My plan is still, today is Wednesday, so in 2 days here, 2 checks, I plan on pulling the water line. It's supposed to cool off, I think even starting tomorrow. Instead of 70 degrees plus like it is today, I'm hot, but you get out in the wind, then I get cold. So that's why I'm still wearing the long sleeve. But before I start skinning, we'll definitely be taking, I'll be short sleeve t-shirt and that's it. But it's supposed to cool off to like 50 tomorrow, and then like 40s for the weekend here for like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So not that the sloughs are gonna necessarily freeze up, but it's gonna get a little bit colder or whatever. And again, I'm kind of done sloshing around in waders all day long. You know, it just kind of gets old, to be honest with you. So I figure I'm at 56 muskrats, I believe, now for the season. You know, if again 2 checks, if I get even 5 a check, you know, put me at, you know, mid 60s. I'm happy with that number. Again, I didn't expect there to be this many around, to be honest with you. I figured I was going to struggle to get to 50, so I'm well above that. So I'm at peace with pulling the water line. Like I said, I maybe could run it for even 4 or 5 more days if I wanted to, but you know, you can see like the catches definitely decreased now. If I was going to keep running the water line, like even on my way home today, I would have dropped some more water sets in, and I keep adding to the water line, you know, if I was going to go 4 or 5 more days or even a couple more days. But as it is, like I said, the plan is still Friday, so I don't feel like it's worth it to drop. I mean, it's worth it to drop them in, but again, I don't want to catch every muskrat in the county, so we're going to leave them alone for this season. I'm probably going to try and leave some of my mink boxes like I typically do, because like I said, I need to drive by some of those sloughs already anyway, so I'm going to leave the mink boxes there. They don't take nothing just to stop, step out, peek into the cattails to see if they're still set. So, and I'd love to catch some more mink. That was kind of my focus for the year. My plan hasn't really panned out on how I wanted to trap them. I wanted to try some pocket sets and stuff like that, but I have not even had close to enough time to even consider putting in pocket sets to I've never put one in, so the first one's going to take me quite a while, I have a feeling, to make, and the first few are probably going to take me quite a while to make. So like I said, I haven't had the time this season to start monkeying with it, so well, I'm happy I got the one today, and I'll show you him. But I'm going to probably leave the mink boxes. Like I said, we're going to give them a go, see if I can't make another couple catches, because every mink I catch, I feel like is, especially around a slough, that could be like 15-20 muskrats that mink's not eating in the next year. I think they eat quite a lot of muskrats in my area, like especially if there's huts and that type of stuff. I feel, I've seen literally where they've dug a hole right in the side of a muskrat hut. Well, chances are they probably killed at least one muskrat there, and again, every mink I can kill should be more muskrats for next season, and muskrats are way funner to trap. So kind of get off my soapbox here. I ended up with the 2 beavers again. They're like identical size to each other. This was the first one caught in that drainage ditch, a nuisance beaver, and this is the one that was caught in my foothold that I've had out for a few days. I keep catching the muskrats in, and again, they're a pair of 2-year-olds. I did not expect to catch a 2-year-old in there, so I don't know if there's going to be a bigger one still in there. By where I caught this one here, I expect there to be at least one more bigger one in there, and there may even be another 2-year-old or even a couple more in there. So the mink is okay. I'm happy with the mink, but I'd rather seen a beaver in that set today. A big mink, I mean, you just look at the size, the length of him compared to that beaver. I mean, he's easy 18 inches just hanging here from the nose to the base of his tail, I bet, if not more. I mean, he's not the fattest mink I've ever caught, but he's long and skinny. So yeah, I caught him in a beaver set. Happy to have him. Like I said, we're going to get him skinned and fleshed and put up tonight, and I'll definitely get these muskrats put up tonight. Neither one of those two take a lot of fleshing. You maybe got a couple minutes each. Like I said, we're going to get these beaver skinned. We're going to take the casters out of these beaver. And the coyote, like I said, we'll get him picked clean of burrs. And I may, like I said, I have my fleshing beam right here. I was doing muskrats on last night. I got my beam up here for doing the beaver and the coyotes as well. So I think I'm going to have plenty of time today. I think we're going to probably try and get all these fleshed. Thing is, I already have 3 beaver from this spring that I need to put up. I just skinned them this spring, and I only have 2 boards to put beavers on, and I typically only like to use the one side of the board. So it'd be nice to get these 2 fleshed and on those board in case I do catch a few more in the next couple days. That way I'll have a couple of them done, and I won't have my boards plugged up later on. It won't take me, basically this is a week of a normal, because I come down on the weekends to flash after I'm done trapping. So basically these 2 is 1 week worth of beaver boards full. Oh, and then over here, last but not least, you can tell the difference in size. This is the one I had got my coyotes at. This is the one I just caught, and that bag isn't even tight on him. That's just as tight as it would tie. The little guy did spray just a little bit. He was actually fairly calm. I got the syringe up to him. When I poked him with it, he did squirt just a little bit, but he squirted kind of away from me. It just, I think just the surprise of it poking him or whatever. So obviously I stood on the other side of the catch circle and remade the set, and the wind actually was blowing away from me the whole time. So it smelled just a little there, but he might have wasted just a little of my essence. The plan is, I got 2 skunks from yesterday and these 2. My plan is tomorrow I'll be doing skunks again. Try and get them done before the weekend comes, and I'll have company coming. So try and get them cleaned up and out of the yard tomorrow. And yeah, and like I said, so the beaver boards, we're going to try and get these 2 hopefully on beaver boards tonight. And then like I said, by like Saturday, maybe Sunday, they'll be completely dry and I can take them off of there. But again, it's just nice to get a little bit ahead, considering I got half of my freezers full of fur already. and I'm only 6 days into the season here. So since I have a little bit of reprieve today, I think, like I said, we're going to take advantage of that. Since, like I said, I can't really put more sets out or more coyote sets out just because of the wind blowing so hard. So I think that's about everything. Like I said, I think I explained everything I wanted to explain. Like I said, I grabbed my apron for doing for fleshing. My beam I already had up here, and I did stop and I grabbed that out of my trapping shed, and I grabbed one more colony trap. I dropped those 2 colony traps in that culvert, but the culvert was actually wide enough. I'm pretty sure I can get a third one in there. So I put my 2 colony traps right in the very middle of the culvert. I don't know, like I said, if they're going to swim along the edges or right through the middle of it or whatever. So tomorrow I may actually try to drop a 3rd colony trap in there just to plug up that entire culvert. So if they're swimming along the bottom or whatever, you know, I got a chance of catching them. On the other end of it where I put them, like I said, normally you could see the end of the culvert, but I'm not so sure the muskrats ain't got part of it plugged up with cattails, so they may or may not even be going through that culvert anyway. But I do expect tomorrow, I expect a fair amount of traps set off with nothing in them, muskrat traps. I had a few today, not as many as really I almost expected, but I had a few today. With the wind blowing as hard as it is out of the south, so anything that's on the south side of the road, I feel like, you know, the waves going to be lapping. Even my footholds, it will set them off. You know, just the constant pounding of a waves, you know, splashing on them or whatever. And the 110s with a carrot on it, you know, it doesn't take a lot of wiggling on that carrot and it'll set them off. So I expect to have a few set off. I do expect on the north side of the roads, you know, north and maybe on the west side, because we got the wind's a little bit easterly, I expect that's where my catches are going to be, even if the other ones aren't set off. So, and again, hopefully where I caught the 2nd beaver today, where I've been trying all week, he may be the only one in there. So, you know, hopefully, like I said, we're going to leave it for a couple days here, and hopefully either I got the one that's in there or tomorrow I have another one if there's any more left in there. And then where I caught the first one this morning, like I said, I think there's at least one in there, one big one, adult, you know, so it should be, you know, 45 plus pounder in there someplace, I think. Hopefully a guy can get him caught here in the next couple days, because actually where I caught the first one too, I was going to mention that the landowner pulled up kind of right as I was coming out of there. He actually asked the township if they'd come dig that ditch out. He didn't realize that the beaver were right along the road. He thought they were out farther where the house is. So he actually asked them to dig that ditch out, and he thinks they're coming next week. So we're going to find out for sure, and or he's going to find out for sure and let me know when they're coming. But I need to get my traps out of there before then. So it's a good thing I got in there and got my sets made. And like I said, I got one out of there already. Hopefully, like I said, in the next maybe 2 days, I get the rest of them cleaned out of there before they come and dig those dams and everything out of there. Because the dams are going to be where they want to dig, and 2 out of my 3 sets are setting basically right on the dams. So hopefully, like I said, they're not going to dig them out till next week, he told me, but he's going to find out for sure. So like I said, it's a good thing I got in there and got him trapped out of there. Look at how much difference in color. I just realized, look at how kind of light brown that one. And this one here is still wet, obviously, so that makes a little bit of difference. But I feel like this one here is quite a bit darker color than this one. And again, this is the first one I caught out of that ditch, and this is the second one. Because even like down here by his tail, you know, this one here where it's dry, he's more gray colored. This one's brown, white brown. Anyway, all right, I think I've babbled on long enough again today. I appreciate you guys watching Schmatz Outdoors. We'll see you out on the line tomorrow.